Hi, fourth graders. We are going to do 11.5 today for math. So we are going to continue multiplying numbers. This time we're going to work with two-digit numbers. We've done it in the past using the partial product strategy. Today we're going to introduce something called double and half strategy. It is different than double-double or half-half when we are dividing. You're doubling one number and taking a half of another number when you're multiplying. And the reason why we do that is just to make the multiplication a little bit easier. So I'll kind of model here for you. All right, so we're going to use a double and half strategy. Now it's your choice which number you double. Whichever one you double, the other one you will need to take a half of. You can't double both of them or take half of both. So over here, I'm going to double the 11. Right? And then I'm going to take half of 28, which is 14. Now, 22 times 14, that's not a whole lot easier. I can do it again. Now, if I double the 11 to 22, I'm going to keep doubling that number. So then I will double it to 44. If I took half of 28 and I got 14, I'm going to take half of 14 to get to 7. Okay? So I will show you here with a different color. Okay? Going here and here. Okay? I'm going to write a little D here for doubling. All right? And then here to here, I'm going to write a little H, and I took a half. So if I'm going to double, I'm going to keep doubling that side, that number, and I'm taking a half. I keep taking a half. Now I end up with 44 times 7, okay, which is a little easier to solve using standard algorithm. Okay. 4 times 7, 28. 4 times 7 again, 28, 29, 30. Okay, and that's a little faster than trying to solve 11 times 28. Let's try it down here. 32 times 24. Again, it's your choice which one you want to double and which one you want to have. So I'm going to go ahead and double 32. I can do that in my head easily, 64. So I'm going to double it again, and I get 128. Okay, I'm going to take half of 24, which is 12, and then I'm going to take half again, which is 6. Okay, so now I ended up with 128 times 6, and I only have to solve that last problem. 8 times 6, 48. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 4 is 16. 1 times 6 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Okay, so my answer is 768. Let's look over here. 45 times 36. Now, sometimes you'll notice with one number, like I know double 45 is 90. So I might want to go that way because that makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to double 45 to 90, which means I need to take half of 36, which is 18. Okay? That's still not super easy, so I can do it again. Okay? And take 90, and let's double it again to 180. And then let's take half again. Half of 18 is 9. That looks like it's much easier to solve. So I can write it over here, 180 times 9. That's what we're going to solve. Okay, I can do 18 times 9 and then add that 10 back in, right? So I can do 18 times 9. 8 times 9 is 72. 1 times 9 is 9, plus 7 is 16. Okay, so if I know 18 times 9 is 162, then I know 180 times 9 is 1,620. Okay, let's solve a word problem. A school is tiling a rectangular outside area beside the library. Okay? The space measures 12 feet by 35 feet. What is the total area? I can even draw a picture. I want to see what that looks like. 12 by 35. And again, you can use partial products if you want, trying the doubling and halving strategy or the double and half. So what I'm solving is 12 times 35. Okay. So this, in this case, maybe I want to double the 35 and take half of 12. Okay. So if I take half of 12, that's 6. And if I double the 35, I get 70. That's a lot easier to do. I can even do that in my head. 6 times 70 is 420. Okay, 420. Now, this is a word problem. They're talking about area. So this would be square feet, right? Or you can write it this way. Okay, I hope that helps. Let's take a look at Stepping Stones 11.5. Okay, now 11.5 here, they are also showing an array. Okay? So it says, I want to lay turf in an area that measures 12 yards by 15 yards. How many square yards of turf will I need? And remember, each one of these little squares is a square yard. Okay? Look at the array, and they're going to use the doubling and halving strategy, or the double and half strategy, and apply it to an array. What that means is they say there are 30 squares in 2 rows. Okay, so I'm going to use a little brighter color. So what they're saying is if you take 2 rows together here, like that, right? 1 row is 15, so 2 rows is 30. Okay? So if I keep doing that, here's another 2 rows of 15, there's another 30. Here's another 30. Okay? So you're going to pretend that what they're doing is they're going to group 2 rows together like this. Okay? And if it was a piece of graph paper, you're going to cut those strips out. And you can rearrange them, and it's not going to change the total area. The way the paper looks is going to look different, but the area doesn't change. So what you're going to pretend is they're going to take this one here, and they cut it out, and they're going to glue it right next to that one so that it extends out that way. Okay, and then they're going to take this one, right, and move it up. I know it's a little confusing to imagine this without actually cutting the paper, but what you would end up looking, what you would end up having is this array down here. Okay. So this is after, and I'll show you with my lines again, right? So the way I was trying to describe it, if you had cut the paper and then move some of those pieces around, you'd have a long rectangle like this, but you haven't changed the total area. So what they ended up doing there was, instead of a 12, now you have 6 rows, and instead of having 15, you have 30. Okay, so if you counted all those little squares across, you'd have 30. Now 6 times 30 is a lot easier to solve than 12 times 15. Now, down here, you have a choice. So you're going to double one number and take half of the other to make a problem that's easier to solve. I'll do a few with you. So if I look at 15, I know double 15 is 30. So I'm going to try to double that, which means I need to take half. Okay, so that's the thing to look out for, is when you double one side, you have to take half of the other. Now I can do this in my head. 30 times 7, that's 210. Okay, looking at B, again, I think it's easier to double 15 because that brings me to a friendly number, 30. So then I have to take half of this, which is 8. 8 times 30, 240. Much easier to do than 16 times 15. Okay? Again, over here, I notice there's 35 If I double that, I get 70. Then I have to take a half of this side, which is 4. 70 times 4, 280. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Have a good day.